Before we start today's video, check out our affiliate links in the description down below. These can make some great gifts with the holiday season just around the corner, or even a gift for yourself. It supports the channel at no extra cost of you. Thanks so much. May the force be with you, and enjoy the video.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
The Mandalorian and Grogu movie may have one of the most controversial choices, but it will fix a 47-year-long Star Wars problem with the theatrical slate of things. We're going to go ahead, we're going to hop right on into it, break it all down for you guys, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video, we are going to be taking a quick read from ScreenRant.com as an overall garnering source. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. So as we had briefly mentioned there in our prologue from the get-go, The Mandalorian has one of the most controversial choices, but it's going to fix a nearly 50-plus year Star Wars problem, it seems, for the theatrical side of things for a galaxy far, far away. Now, despite being one of the Star Wars TV show's most controversial choices, The Mandalorian reuniting Din Djarin and Grogu heavily helped fix a franchise-wide issue that's been ongoing ever since the beginning. There's no doubt that the speed with of which Din and Grogu were reunited has harmed the TV show's legacy, as they kind of just threw it randomly in the Book of Boba Fett, in addition to the fact that this is a key reunion happened in a completely different spin-off TV show, which was the Book of Boba Fett. It was just kind of out of place, very random. I've voiced my thoughts and opinions on it plenty of times here on the channel. Of course, let me know what you guys think about that one in the comments down below. However, I would also like to believe that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie has an opportunity to fix said controversy. Not just that, but also other controversy that we've seen with other Star Wars movies. And I don't even know if controversy is the right term to necessarily use when it comes to this. Ever since this controversial story choice, though, however, it's graced viewer screens, there have been discussions that Din and Grogu's story should have ended with their separation at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2. That in itself is something else that I've also discussed and have covered here on the channel before, of that I don't feel that, if for anything, that is just where we're getting started and that's the beginning of things. They definitely were always prompted to have a reunion in the future. Just having it in the middle of a show about Boba Fett and the finale of that, out of all things, it just was very out of place. Now, it's true that is keeping Din and Grogu apart forever would have made the emotional impact of the Mandalorian Season 2 finale and its memorable goodbye scene everlasting. There's quite a big reason why that simply just couldn't be the case, and why this controversial reunion absolutely had to happen. I can't say that it had to happen in a Boba Fett show, but you guys get the point. Though the nature of this reunion certainly could have changed, the better story would not have been keeping these two apart. This duo has long since had the job of reversing one of Star Wars' longest running tropes, the poor father-son relationships. That in itself arises as a controversial just opinion and topic throughout the Star Wars franchise, and almost very much so of a trope at this point. It's getting repetitive, if for anything. Star Wars has always had and has always been about broken father-son relationships, ever since the original trilogy to the prequels and even in the sequels. Even before it was revealed that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father, Luke already had a broken relationship with his father figure due to Anakin's death as well. Uncle Owen, acting as that said father figure, was the closest person Luke ever had to a father, and even then, it's fairly obvious that the two of them just didn't really ever get along very well. Then came about Obi-Wan Kenobi, who Luke also had to mourn after he died at the hands of Vader. And when it was revealed that Vader was Luke's father in Empire Strikes Back, Luke was simply shattered yet again, and he only got to experience mere minutes with his redeemed father before Anakin's death in Return of the Jedi. Luke's relationship with Vader, his father, set a precedent for this father-son and father-daughter relationships in Star Wars as a trope and even as a running gag to a point. Anakin had no father, and those he had considered fathers, like Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi as father figures, had died or had failed to save him from falling to the dark side. That in itself is a whole kind of just tragedy in itself. And as for the sequel trilogy, yeah, Rey also had a little memory of her parents before their deaths, including her father, and that separation, being away from her father. But I would really argue that the main trope of the sequel trilogy father-son relationship has definitely Ben Solo and Han Solo. And also Jyn Erso in Rogue One, only aside her relationship with her father, Galen, as he lay dying in her arms. Then, of course, there is Han and Ben Solo, as I had mentioned, the latter of whom had killed his father to cement his allegiance to the dark side. And so, point being is that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is going to be very refreshing change for Star Wars, and finally having just a healthy relationship at its heart with a father-son duo. And while I would definitely think it would be something out of left field to see Grogu turn on his father, or, vice versa, whatever the case may be, it would be quite a curveball, and even in that is kind of like, how would they explain that? But amongst one of these broken relationships is Din Djarin and Grogu, a very pure father-son bond that isn't destroyed nor torn apart by the narrative. At least yet. I don't want to jinx it though. Instead, they get to actively choose one another, with Grogu choosing his father over his Jedi training, and Din choosing to formally adopt Grogu as his very own. Din breaks his Mandalorian creed on multiple occasions for his son even, despite the consequences, and Grogu leaves behind the Jedi life that he always knew in favor of being with his father and having a family. It's quite a wholesome relationship that fixes these old age broken relationships as an overall trope and running gag to this point in the Star Wars franchise and really throughout the movies. While the circumstances of the duo reunion certainly should have been different, I think if for anything, and just shouldn't have been in the Book of Boba Fett, I also believe, as I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, that there could be something that they would maybe be able to do in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie to help better, or help strengthen, or help fix, in a way, the reunion that we saw, the poor, sad excuse of a reunion that we saw in the Book of Boba Fett. There's no doubt that it still should have happened eventually, though, however. Star Wars has long since needed a father-son relationship like Din Djarin and Grogu's, if for anything. It's been a long awaited, and now they're finally delivering it, and giving them a chance on the big screen in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. At long last, The Mandalorian has provided the franchise with a healthy relationship to old dear, proving that this controversial decision to reunite them was, despite of its nature, really maybe the right choice. Then again, there was always the opportunity that they could have, should have, if for anything, reunited the duo in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie itself. But hey, merchandising and promoting and marketing, so they didn't really want to spoil it at that. So anyway, let me know what you guys all think in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.